What's going on, guys? CJ here. Today's video, it's coming out a little bit later than normal, mostly because I thought today we'd finally see something from CG, and we'll kind of dive into the reason why, in case you're not following the current discords and sort of seeing some of the stuff floating around or over the past couple of days leading up to yesterday. So let's go ahead and dive into it. What's going on, guys? So anyways, like I said in the intro, today I was anticipating we get some kind of update from CG and was hoping to be able to share that upon it immediately coming out as today's video. I really thought that we were going to get something today, and it's currently 3:45 Eastern, so I don't anticipate us probably seeing anything, around that probably 5 o'clock Eastern sort of end of business day. I know Tuesdays and Thursdays generally are the days that things are posted, but let's go ahead and take a look at why I thought today was going to be the day, and also the bigger reason as to why I thought today was going to be the day. So first and foremost, in case you were unaware, there's been a lot of murmurs in the Discord, and leading up to yesterday at 5 p.m, EA had their earnings call. So that's just really going over everything and anything through their, I believe, their Q3. So yeah, their Q3 earning results. So that's a pretty big deal for obviously EA, because EA owns Capital Games and Capital Games is a part of EA. So this would be like a telling story for how the company is doing, and if there was anything that was going to be related to the game and problems that might kind of exist. We may have seen something in some of the slides that were released for EA, and this is all public information since obviously they're like on the stock market and they're a public company. I didn't dive into all the nitty gritties, but some of the guys in both multiple discords that I'm a part of for this game specifically dove into it, and there wasn't really anything that was explicitly called out for Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth. However, there was a couple of slides that I did want to kind of show on here. So the good news is it's probably unrealistic to think that this game is coming to an end, and that's why we haven't heard anything, because you can clearly see existing live services in year 2024 title slate. They have right here in this middle bucket blockbusters and original IP, and clearly call out Heroes of Middle-earth, right? So Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth launched back on May 10th. So I think if they had any interest or ideas that this game was going to kind of be an end of life, they probably wouldn't really be showcasing it in an earnings call. So I do tend to believe we are in a relatively good spot long term for the game, or at least in the near short / long term, not necessarily long term like 5 years from now, who knows. Hopefully the game ramps up. Obviously it hasn't been performing probably as hoped, giving they have the Star Wars game as well, and that has done significantly better. But anyways, I thought coming out of this call we may hear something in the official Discord channel. So at some point yesterday afternoon, somebody on the EA side would finally chime in on some information, where they've been, why they've been quiet, was it related to this, etc. Nothing. Then today I thought, okay, today will be the day. We're past sort of this maybe hold up as to why there's been zero conversations. Nothing. So anyways, the other thing that really leaned on me believing we would see or hear something from CG and this game was the calendar. So that's like another big telling tale, right? Is the calendar for January is done. So this afternoon, so tonight, this refreshes and we should have a February calendar login event. And as of right now, one doesn't exist. And I do believe that this is like released for everybody at the same time. I don't think it releases based off your time zone, but I could be wrong. So I think no matter where you live, it's not going to show up as a kind of collectible login until 7 hours or so from now. So I don't think anyone is going to really be able to tell us on, EU time or Australia or wherever in the world to be like, hey, like we're obviously significantly further in time. We're already approaching tomorrow, February 1st in our time zone, and we have or don't have a calendar. And from what people have said, there's no calendar. So maybe there really isn't one yet. And that would be kind of concerning, because historically we've gotten these sort of calendar updates about a week or so before the calendar actually goes live in the game, to give you some sense of what the month is going to be sort of focused on, or just, what the rewards are going to look like. And they're pretty static. Like I haven't seen over the last couple of months these change all that much. Obviously the days might shift a little bit, but like the rewards as a total, and maybe I'll make a video on that at some point. I'd be actually kind of curious. Now that I have this on the screen and recording, I can take a guess as to what these are, because now they're all like, you know, checkmark blanks. But what do we get in January? Like, what's the total, you know? So like 20,000 gold, 20,000 gold, you know, 25,000 gold, 25,000 gold, 25,000 gold. So like, what is that? 75, 95, 115 roughly. Maybe I missed one here. I'm just doing it quick. Not sure. I think this 10,000 is going to be XP. But anyways, I'd be curious, like 115,000 gold we got in January. What do we get in February? Is it also 115,000, or is it more? Is it 120,000, 125? Do they give us more in future like calendars, or is it less? I mean, obviously February has 3 less days than January, so of course it's going to be less total rewards, unless they clump them over 28 day span instead of 31. But anyways, this was something that I thought we would see, because again, we've always gotten updates in Discord of like throughout the month of obviously, but we get like sneak peeks of what the next month's gonna bring. Like when, you know, when I started playing, it was like, oh, the Haradrim kind of focal point, right? Like just missed it, but that was like for August, I believe. And then as you went into the next month, it was like another, you know, focus, like the marquees had a focus behind it. And then you had like the Dol Guldur, and it was like the whole kind of shadow month and for November. And it was kind of like cool to sort of have these like monthly focus character slash, you know, like what they're trying to sort of emulate and bring out to the game, right? For that month, like what are they really trying to push in the game? And January, even if we had a login reward, it was like a replica of one in the past for Mordor, right? And there was nothing for January, like besides the login reward, we didn't have anything to kind of follow with it. And so yeah, anyways, February would be interesting to see if tomorrow we have a calendar, or if we're still sitting here with nothing. And if we got nothing, that would really suck, because although these aren't like game changing rewards when you log into the game, it's kind of like a telling tale of like, man, this is how the game has been since launch. And we enter in this very kind of just no updates from the team, zero communication for over 5 or 6 weeks now. I believe we're past 40 days since anything. I mean, I can't believe like they legitimately said nothing for the entire month of January. That is just beyond me. Like, if you have a community manager, I get that maybe there's a bigger picture that they need to stay quiet for something. Totally understandable that they can't give us any valuable information. But like, to just not even be there, period, at all, it kind of seems crazy. Like, was the community manager laid off? I don't know, you know, like it just doesn't make sense to just not even be like, hey, I'm here, I'm alive. I can't really answer anything specifically, but I'm here. Like, you know, it's just crazy. It really is. It's just absolutely nuts that an entire month has passed and they haven't said a single word about this game, what the direction is, nothing. And even more so, again, it's kind of nitpicky here because there's not really any specific release cadence at all in this game. It's very much open to discretion and what they want to do. But historically, over the 6 months or so the game was out prior to this holiday sort of silence, we've gotten characters every 60-ish days, right? 60 to 70 days from marquee ending to farmable. And we are now at the point where Rumil Orphan are 100% well past due. They're approaching, I think when I made a video on my list of character shards and farmability, they were approaching the upper end of that, and that video was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So if they were like approaching that mid to high 70s, like we are now like around 90 days of the character marquee ending for Rumil and Orphan, and literally nothing in the game for us to now farm. They're at the point where they could like release 5 or 6 old marquee characters right into the pipeline, which would be like an awesome update. But you'd have Rumil, Orphan, and then Black Beast, Checker, and that whole Charu and whatever, right? Like those 5, like that'd be big, and they're all pretty good characters. So it's like, damn, who do you farm? Where do they end up? Who do you focus? But anyways, like I said, I thought we would hear something almost 100% today, with what everyone kind of thought. Well, the reason for the silence, the reason why we haven't heard anything, is because of the earnings call. They got to wait till that kind of comes to an end, and then when that wraps up, that might end sort of the silence because they were able to give the information out to the public and how the company is performing. The game showed up on their slide as like an active game for EA, so it doesn't appear to be a game that they're just looking to scrap. But I mean, again, you never really know, I suppose. But anyways, just wanted to give you guys an update. The game looks to be alive. Are we going to get a calendar update tonight? Who knows? I guess we'll find out tonight, right? But see you in the next one. Bye.